Welcome to the Talking the Line podcast, presented to you by Talking the Line Sports Media, giving you our best insights and analysis so you can rake in some cold hard cash on your next sports bet. Now sit on back, open up your mind, and let's cash some tickets. We can't thank you enough for joining us. We hope you enjoy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers, far and wide. Welcome in to episode number 79 of the Talking the Line podcast. Once again, a special edition, this time an all-star game only special edition, and we got plenty of lines to talk about today. But before we do and dive into all of the value we found across today's all-star game, please take a few moments to smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you are currently ingesting the TTL Pod on. Whether you are watching on YouTube, if you are, you might as well hit that notification bell as well so you never miss the start of a live show. But if you are watching on your favorite podcasting directory, or listening on your favorite podcasting directory, make sure you hit the subscribe button there as well, as we do release the audio after every live show is over. In addition, if you could be so kind and you got a couple extra seconds, make sure you hit that like button, leave us a comment below, leave us a rating, all that good stuff. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it when you do, and it only helps us make Talking the Line Sports Media bigger and better for each and every one of you. And last but not least, head on over to this episode's description where you can find the Talking the Line link tree. Within that link tree, you will locate all of the TTL Crew's content so you can consume it however and whenever you please. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful gambling people joining us on today's show. I am your humble host, Colt 45 Sroka, and I didn't say it yet, so let's get it out of the way. Thank you so much for taking a few moments out of your day to come and kick it with the crew on this beautiful Tuesday of bets. You know, we got quite the show coming at you today, and I keep saying we. Wouldn't be able to do the Talking the Line podcast without my co-host, my partner in crime, the man I lock arm in arm with every single day and go to battle with these sports books. However, today, we're on a little bit of opposing sides, and you might just see the TTL showdown come back in action. So without further ado, cannot wait to chop up some NL and some AL talk with my man here today, the myth, the legend, Mr. Riley RMags Magnuson. Partner, how you doing over there today, pal?
I'm feeling pretty damn good, my man. Always juiced up for the All-Star game. Gotta love my AL boys tonight, but we'll see where our betting angles are today. Had a very enjoyable time watching the Home Run Derby last night, as many people did. A lot of fireworks going on there, so I'm juiced up for this episode, my man. A little bit different than what we usually get going at these people for what we usually do on a normal betting day, but we're still going to give it to him nonetheless.
Hey, still going to drop it down. You better believe that. Producer Colt doing a little bit of work here at the same time as hosting the TTL Pod. So every once in a while, I got to fix a little bit of mic action there. So looking good, feeling good now, ladies and gentlemen. First things first here, before we dive into an absolutely loaded All-Star Game show, last night, Home Run Derby, quite the electric affair, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, from the moment Pete Alonso took a couple of swings, you knew that it might be as good of a rap as you can imagine. That dude came and conquered, no problem no fucking questions asked. He was there for a business trip, and he showed everyone why you should have been betting on him.
Yeah, I tweeted that out, and I've been saying that over and over. I'm glad you said that, and that's starting to stick. Pete Alonso was there for strictly business yesterday. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He was not there to play around. He had Mobb Deep and Nas going hard in Coors Field last night and was loving every minute of it, was playing into the crowd, was dancing along, man. I honestly didn't think that he was going to repeat like that, much like most of America, to tell you the truth. Well, actually, it's funny. Hell of a segue to some of the best bets from yesterday. Obviously, America's favorite, Shohei Ohtani. They had a boost on FanDuel Sportsbook. Generally, you notice when there's a boost for some of these big things, might not be the best bet, but we both fell into the trap. We thought it might be good, but that obviously did not win.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. I think if he would have gotten through that round, it seemed like he was starting to get into a little bit of a groove. He started off so damn slow, but I said it off air. I guess I tweeted it, but Juan Soto was no scrub, my man. He was a live dog in that action, and he put on a show. So love me some Ohtani, but wasn't his time.
Wasn't his time for sure. Also, America's favorite, Joey Gallo. Early bounce, a very controversial call on the timer there. Who knows? He didn't get it off, but Trey Mancini got one counted that didn't get off either. So, also kind of segues me into the point, timer or 10 outs? 10 outs. I am a fan of the 10 outs. I think this timer's a little bit of I don't know about all that. I don't know. I don't want to say pressure for that. That's not the right word, but it doesn't.
I like the timer.
I don't like the flow of it whatsoever. And that 10 outs, it just puts so much more on each individual at bat instead of just going up there and trying to rip the cover off the ball, which a lot of guys were doing that and started off their first 15 swings were piss missiles into the outfield.
Right.
And hey, maybe that's why one of the little ball girls rolled her ankle out there. Who the hell knows what's going on?
But I do like the timer as long as kind of what you were saying, as long as we can iron out exactly the rules as far as the end of it. Then I do still like the timer because, we would see growing up all these derbies where kind of what you're mentioning, guys would start off real slow and then they're kind of SOL, 5 home runs because they just hit 10 line drives into the outfield. Whereas I think the timer allows them to, if they start off slow, gives them a chance to bounce back into a little bit of a groove. Because we did see that with Ohtani and Gallo. I mean, they made a run at coming back into there. Obviously, Ohtani tied it, and Gallo came, a millisecond away or another shot away from having it. So I do like the timer. I think it gives them a chance to, there's that bonus as well. I don't think there was a single person who missed out on the bonus. So
Trevor Story did in the second round. He missed out on it. Yeah. So I just don't like that bonus. You can whatever side of the fence you find yourself on. But hey, speaking of the tie from Ohtani, electric double tie and then a 3 swing off.
Yeah, Juan Soto, man.
Yeah, Juan Soto. After he got that victory, he just looked so locked in at the plate to me. I sprinkled a little bit on him to be the outright winner. Obviously didn't move through from the second round, but he looked great in that first round against Ohtani. I don't think a lot of people expected that whatsoever.
No, he was a big underdog in that first round matchup, but that swing off was clutch as hell. And some of those left-handed batters really struggled from the plate yesterday.
Trevor Story was talking about that the right-handed guys had a decided advantage, and it definitely showed. There were some of them where they would rip them down the left side, and I was like, oh, that ball's way foul. And it would be left center 5-6 rows back. I'm like, well, that didn't even look fair at all. How is that possible? So
yeah, they were smoking them down the line.
Yeah, it was a great show overall. If you did listen to today's show or yesterday's show, if you didn't, whatever, we told you to take the under 519.5. Juan Soto hit a bomb 520. Welcome to gambling, baby, by a half of a foot. Isn't that quite interesting there? And the 2 favorites get bounced from the home run derby. Isn't that interesting?
A little interesting. Yeah.
What do you know about that? Either way, we also had a 2-legger we put together, Alonso Ohtani, which was very, very confident. Didn't end up hitting that bad boy. But we did also tell you to sprinkle a little bit on Pete Pete Alonso to go back-to-back, which we did as well. So we ended up cashing a little bit of action, going a little bit positive yesterday. Nothing too crazy outside of that. Trevor Story, I thought was going to be able to make a run. You guys know he was my dark horse, but obviously couldn't get the deal done.
Wasn't a little too small for the home run derby, at least compared to the other guys. As soon as he started swinging, it was like, he's kind of laboring a little bit harder to get this one out of the park.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. He did look a little bit smaller compared to a lot of the big
guys
boys.
Just pretty effortless, just bombing.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. When's the last time you've seen an infielder in the home run derby? You know?
Yeah, I'm not
like
even
really, really good. So. Who knows? Overall, ladies and gentlemen, hope you tuned in right alongside with us. Absolutely electric show yesterday for the Home Run Derby. I think it added to even more of the fanfare that we just didn't have it last year. So it seemed like Coors Field was absolutely rocking if you were there.
I mean, Twitter was rocking. Everyone was reacting.
Yeah. I hope you guys follow us on Twitter, followed along on our Twitter page. We were dishing out all types of content last night live from the Home Run Derby. Yep. We'll be doing the exact same thing for the All-Star game tonight and anything in between. So that kind of does it for the Home Run Derby. Let's talk about today's show. What do we got coming up? All-Star Game Special Edition, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't read the description yet, we're going to be breaking down some of our best bets, props, everything in between from today's All-Star Game, and we're actually bringing you 15 picks in total. I got 10 picks, and Mags has 5 picks, but told you at the top of the show, we might be opposing on a few different sides. So make sure you listen up and choose your side wisely when it comes to this, because we're bringing back a little bit of TTL showdown action here today. Now, outside of just the money lines and opposing NLAL, we'll let you guys wait a little bit to see what sides we're on. Also going to be taking some first inning plays, second inning plays, some plays from across the board, total plays. We got a lot of stuff to dive into. So, I'm not going to take up all too much time here blabbing on about nothing. Let's get down to business, ladies and gentlemen. Cut all the nonsense, stop the banner, quit the drama that you could go to every other sports media outlet and get. You come to the TTL Pod for the Stone Cold locks and running tickets to the window with the TTL crew all day and night long. So without further ado, going to go back to a little bit of the normal show from what you would see. Yesterday was just us two stooges sitting up here hanging out talking about the Home Run Derby. We're going to be having a little bit of lower third and stuff coming back here today. So, little bit look of the normal show. Partner told him you got 5 best bets coming live. So without further ado, it's time to get into RMags best bets of the day. Listen up, but not too intently if you're trying to ride with me.
Oh, okay.
Just throwing subtle jabs early, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Let's get into RMags best bets of the day for today's MLB All-Star game. And without further ado, as always, partner, you have the floor.
I appreciate you, my man. So where should I start with the ones that we're opposing on and save the ones that we're together on for afterwards?
Yeah, that'll be just fine. Okay, and then I can actually kind of piggyback along. Well, yeah, I'll just wait for mine. Go ahead, do the ones you're opposing on, and then we'll save the other ones we're together for last.
Okay, sounds good. So that leaves me with 3 of my plays, and it's all going to be coming out of the American League. My boys out of the American League. A little bit of a, Sorry, go ahead.
Before we dive deep into everything here, best bets, quick, just lineup before you dive into. We didn't really break everything down here, just so you guys. We just real quick so we know everything that's going on and who's officially on the field, and before we start talking about guys like, wait, is he actually playing or what's going on?
Okay. So I'll lay down my AL starters and reserves here.
Run the American League. I'll handle the NL, and then we'll get back into your best bets of the day. So real quick, just messing with you guys. Not time for our Max best bets yet. Real quick, partner. What do we got for the American League starters and some of their reserves today?
Okay, so the starting lineup that they're rolling out today, pitching and DH. They're tweaking some DH rules for Ohtani on the mound and DHing today. Ohtani's leading it off, pitching and DH, and then we got Vlad Guerrero, Xander Bogaerts, Aaron Judge, Rafael Devers, Marcus Semien, Salvador Perez, Teoscar Hernandez, and Cedric Mullins kicking things off at the starting lineup. On the bench, we got Mike Zunino, Whit Merrifield, Bo Bichette, my man Tim Anderson, Joey Wendell, Matt Olson we saw last night, Jose Ramirez, Jared Walsh, Joey Gallo, who we saw last night, Adolis Garcia, JD Martinez, and Nelson Cruz. Pitchers for the American League, obviously Shohei Ohtani starting things off. You got Nathan Eovaldi, Gibson, Lance Lynn, Carlos Rodon, Bassett from the A's. Relief pitchers Matt Barnes, Aroldis Chapman, Liam Hendricks, Gregory Soto, Taylor Rogers, and Andrew Kittredge. A few guys that made the team that are out: Altuve, Correa, Brantley, Bieber, Cole, and Kikuchi.
All right, there you have your American League starters, reserves, and pitchers. Now for the National League. My boys, if you're wondering, you might start knowing where we're leaning here today. We have, leading off, from the San Diego Padres, Fernando Tatis Jr. From the Los Angeles Dodgers, Max Muncy. From the Cardinals, Nolan Arenado. Braves, Freddie Freeman. Then we got back-to-back Cincinnati Reds players, Nick Castellanos and Jesse Winker, followed by JT Realmuto from the Philadelphia Phillies. And then two Pittsburgh Pirates hitters here today, very surprising with a late scratch, Brian Reynolds and Adam Frazier from both the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Mad Max Scherzer taking the bump to kick things off here for the National League. And then as far as the remaining players go for the National League, you have apologize here. For the pitchers, we have in reserve Walker Buehler, Corbin Burns, Josh Hader, Craig Kimbrell, German Marquez, Mark Melancon, Freddie Peralta, Alex Reyes, Trevor Rogers, Taijuan Walker, and Zach Wheeler. For the reserves and additional players that might make an appearance here for the National League, Omar Narvaez, JT Realmuto, already told you about him, Ozzie Albies, Jake Cronenworth, KB Chris Bryant, the man on my back right now, Eduardo Escobar, Manny Machado, Justin Turner, Brandon Crawford, Trey Turner, and Juan Soto, followed by Chris Taylor. So pretty doggone stacked lineup from the NL, if you do ask me, from the offensive side of the ball, but also on the AL side of the ball. I think it's going to be quite the game here today. So now the stage is set, ladies and gentlemen. You know the AL starters and the NL starters. There's no more questions to be had. Let's get right back into it. My friend, I apologize. That is on me as a host. That is where we should have gone first. However, no further cutting you off.
Right.
Time to get in and down to business. RMACS Best Bets of the Day. Back live in action. One more time, partner. You have the floor.
Okay, I appreciate it. First play of my three here that I am taking on my side of things by myself. Got the American League money line, and I'll just break them all down, or I'll lay them all down and then break them down after that. American League money line, American League first 5 plus a half, and then I'm going to take the American League to win by 1 to 3 runs at plus 230. Now, just to go, all-encompassing of all three of those, the American League is 19-3-1 in these All-Star games since 1997. They have dominated this contest over the last 24 years or so. And I think that continues tonight. They have won 7 straight games. They have won 17 of their last 19 games, and the last 7 they have won by 1 to 3. So that kind of coincides with where I'm going with the 1 to 3. I really like that play. And honestly, if you like either side, I would advise you, if you're like the NL, to look at them to win by 1 to 3. My partner, I might have some on that. But the last 7 straight wins for the American League has come by 1 to 3 runs. 17 of their last 19 wins have come by 1 to 3 runs. So typically these games are pretty tight, win or lose, and it's been pretty much win for my American League boys over here.
Trends have totally not been the same this entire MLB season, so continue on, my friend.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. My guys are going to take care of business. My partner's going to, I'm going to take the bullets out of your gun before you even say it. My boy's going to talk about Ohtani being a little gassed after last night.
Believe it.
He's like 24 years old. I'm pretty sure he's exercised a lot in his life beforehand, so a one-day rest for pitching and hitting in this game is going to be no issue for him.
7 earned runs 2 games ago.
2 games ago. What happened last time out?
3 earned runs last time out. But go on ahead.
I think he was better than 3 earned runs last time out. I'm pretty sure he was insane. Anyways, I really like this lineup anyways, top to bottom, starters and reserves. I'll be honest, I do like the National League pitchers more than the American League pitchers. However, there's a few guys that sat out that probably would have coaxed me over to the NL side that they are sitting out, so now I'm still liking the American League. Hopefully we can avoid some Aroldis Chapman action in the late innings because he has been brutal for the Yankees. And even my own guy, Liam Hendricks, hasn't been great in the Sox bullpen. But we've got some other guys here in the bullpen for the American League that can hold things down. You've got Gibson, Lynn, Rodon, all three top 5 in ERA for the American League. So I like those guys to keep things rolling because I imagine that's probably the next 3 that you will see after Ohtani. So that kind of leads me into my AL first 5. I really like the first 5 plus a half there. And then I'll be honest, I'm a little bit nervous on those late games late innings there with the American League relief pitchers, but they've still got some guys that can hold things down. And maybe this is all my guy Liam Hendricks needs to break out and have an insane second half. But nonetheless, I'm riding the hot hand in these games with the American League and, the American League to keep things close and get that plus 230 win.
I apologize. 2 earned runs in the previous outing for Ohtani, not 3. So 1 earned run better. My partner was correct. Love your analysis, partner. I like where your head's at as far as seeing all the trends. 19-3-1 since '97. One would typically think that, but betting how it has been so far this MLB season has not been so much of the trend. So everything you got there for the ones we're opposing on. Anything else you need to drop down quickly?
As far as the ones we're opposing on, no, that's all I got.
All right. Well, then I will let you go right ahead and continue on with the ones that we're going to be similar on, and anything that I can add in addition to those, I will gladly piggyback on along too. So carry on, my friend.
So I'll take more of the first one, and you can lay down the second one a little bit more than I can here.
Go.
So the first one, we're going to be taking the under 11 on the full game total here. 13 of the last 14 All-Star games have been concluded in single-digit totals. So that's not necessarily saying 13 of the last 14 have gone under. That just means that 13 of the last 14 have stayed within single digits. Flat out, despite there being the best hitters in the world in this game, there's also the best best pitchers in the world in this game, and they can hold things down no problem. It doesn't matter who's in the lineup. So typically you see these games 4-3, 4-2, 5-3, that kind of thing, and I don't think it's any different tonight.
No, I don't think so either, my friend. The under 11 is actually 9-1 in the last 10 years overall, and 16-5 in the last 21 years under 11. And actually, smart money already coming in on the under here so far this morning. 33% of bets on the under, but a whopping 87% of actual money wagered on this total. And last thought on that, very swirling wind tonight in Coors Field. It's going to be blowing from right to left, left to right. Very minimal amount of time it's going to be blowing out. It's going to be going all over the place, and I think that a lot of these guys are going to try and absolutely rip the cover off the ball after what they saw last night. These baseballs are coming out of the humidor, and I think as hard as they're going to try and hit them, we might not see but 1 or 2 home runs in this game, and I think a lot of balls are going to get knocked down. So you would think with the firepower, potentially over 11, but I definitely love the under 11 here, and smart money.
And to piggyback on what we were part of our conversation yesterday, we've seen these game totals in Coors Field all season long, but the Rockies are actually an under team at home on the season, and it's typically right around this number.
Hope you tuned in yesterday. If you didn't, go back and listen. We covered all of that nonsense yesterday. Every stat, trend, analytic, anything you need for the second half of the MLB season. We covered it yesterday, but today's only All-Star game. So carry on, my friend.
So that was my last thought on the under. I'm glad you mentioned something about 1 or 2 home runs. I also wanted to mention that as far as me not taking a pick on that. I did want to as far as an entertainment value. However, the value just ain't there because the odds are still kind of similar to what they would be on a normal game. But these guys, maybe 1 guy or 2 guy will have more than a couple at-bats, but typically it's going to be 1-2 at-bat per guy, and you're still seeing odds right around, plus 500 max. And there's still like Vlad. I was like, I could see Vlad hitting a home run somewhere around plus 300. They ain't no value there.
No value, no reason to risk it, no reason to take it. Play some of these plays that we got coming at you here, and we have plenty of faith that there is some value. Even out the ones, I have plenty of ones outside of what we're opposing and outside of what we're writing together too. So some other solid value that I found and was able to locate. So might as well tell them what we got coming for your 5th best bet, and one that I'm also taking here today, and I'll go ahead and piggyback once again behind that. We'll just make this RMACS fifth and final best bet of the day.
Yes, sir. So last one, plus 110, actually, plus odds, the way we saw it this morning. Going to be a little nerfy action. No runs in the first inning. Ohtani versus Mad Max. I know it's going to be the big bats coming from either side to start the game, but we like these guys to hold things down in the first inning. Mad Max and Ohtani, that is, and a little plus money action on top of that. So I don't have too much to add to that other than, we've seen Ohtani and Mad Max dominate all season long. Why not keep it going?
I got plenty, pal.
Go for it.
So did a little bit deeper digging into some additional lines. You got the first inning draw is at minus 125 right now. Did even deeper looking into the correct first inning score.
Okay.
A 0-0 tie is at plus 105 right now. So all those odds kind of correlated together are really pointing at a nerfy here today. I think that this is probably one of the most valuable bets of the day. Out of the last 5 All-Star games, 3 of them have gone no runs in the first inning. 2 that did not go no first inning runs were back in 2014 and 2015. So pitching has gotten more and more dominant. I'm glad you said that. In addition, not only do we have good hitters, but these are really, really good pitchers here today. Scherzer has allowed no runs in the first inning in 4 out of his last 5 starts. Ohtani's allowed no runs in the first inning in 2 out of his last 3.
It was just that one rough one.
Yeah, it was just a rough one where he allowed 7 against the Yankees. It was just a really
Worst
weird
start of his career.
Yeah, worst start of his career for sure. I think, honestly, I had a little bit on that. I think he just lost focus at the end of the first half of the season here, focused on that home run derby, and he didn't have the best showing yesterday. So what does that mean? He's going to have to come out and have a good showing here on the bump today, at least for the first inning.
Right.
Who knows if he goes longer? I do think that fatigue plays a little bit larger than we all think, but either way, I don't think any runs are going on the board here in the first inning, my friends. So there you go. There you have it. RMags 5 best bets of the day. Once again, he is taking the American League money line, the American League first 5 run line plus a half. Also, American League to win by 1 to 3 runs.
Yep.
We are also taking together, I'll talk a little bit more about it, under the game total of 11 runs, under 11, and number 5, he is taking, and we are both taking, no runs in the first inning. Nerfy Nation, baby. There are all 5 coming from RMags today. We're not going to have a pick graphic for you today because it is just an absolute plethora of picks that we wouldn't be able to fit all on one screen. So make sure you follow us at the Action Network app. Most of these we will be able to put in.
Really? I didn't even look.
A good majority of them we should be able to, because I got some team totals and stuff like that as well we should be able to put in. So as always, follow me at cash_with_Colt. Hopefully more on the cash side here going forward. Mr. Magnuson at RMags in all caps. And then you can follow the best bets of the day from the TTL crew at Talking the Line for that action page. But moving right along with this show, ladies and gentlemen, we just been getting right after it. Let's get into my best bets of the day. Here we go. Mosey on along, keep it moving and grooving.
Page there.
You know what's happening. Here we go. My best bets of the day, ladies and gentlemen. So we already talked about my first best bet of the day. That is going to be no runs in the first inning of today's All-Star game. Just gave you everything pretty much from both my end of things and from Riley's end of things. So highly suggest you hammer that bad boy in. If you're a little tentative and you think there might be 1 run each, play the first inning draw. Minus 125 is also very, very solid value, but getting plus money on the nerfy is just too good to pass up here today with the pitchers on the mound. Moving right along takes me into my second bet of the day from no runs in the first inning. I do believe we are going to open up the floodgates in the second inning.
Okay.
So my second best bet of the day is inning of first score, the second inning. Now, you're getting these odds right now, right at plus 250. I believe I just saw that right. Let me make sure I tell you guys before I tell you something crazy. Yes, you're getting it at plus 250. And these were honestly the best odds outside. It just seemed like the books were telling me to take the second inning. Everything beyond this was super, super juicy, super long. Nothing you really wanted to put any money on. And then obviously we're taking the nerfy. So all of that in conclusion led me to, I think we're going to put up some doggone runs here in the second inning. But there is actually some analytical trends behind it that I do also believe back all of my thoughts up there. A score has come to kick off the second inning of an All-Star game after a nerfie in 5 out of the last 6 All-Star games. So I like that trend to continue here today. And I also believe that this is when things are going to get popping for the National League. It's going to be a little bit of a feeling out process, a little bit of a pitcher's duel here. Mad Max Ohtani to kick things off. Then we'll get through the American League, might get a couple of runners on base. Mad Max got to work out of a little drama, and then the floodgates are going to open. I think that's when Ohtani's going to, I don't want to say he's going to get bombed on, but I think he's just going to put himself into a couple of really rough positions. It's going to be able to put up 1 or 2 runs from the National League side of things. So, first inning to score in this game. We're going with the second inning, and you can find that on FanDuel Sportsbook. Nice and easy. You just go to runs and inning of first score. There you go. There you have it. My second best bet of the day. Now, moving right along into a couple of team totals. I'm actually going to be playing both team totals here today, and I think this is extremely, extremely valuable. First team total, we're going to the National League. Their total is set at 5.5, and I am taking under 5.5 runs for the National League. The NL has gone over 5.5 runs in the All-Star game one time in the last 10 years, and it was 6 runs in 10 innings. It had to go into extra innings for the total for them to go over. They have also gone over 5.5 twice in the last 17 years. So they have not really gone over that 5.5 at all. This is a very key number for them, and they like to stay under it. Once again, I already talked about this a little earlier with the underplay, but swirling wind is going to be a factor here. It's going to be knocking a lot of balls down, and I just don't think that there's going to be a whole bunch of runs put up here. There might be a few in the early innings, and then we might be in for late inning pitcher's duel, ladies and gentlemen. So that leads me into my fourth best bet of the day, taking the NL team total. Theirs is set at 5, and I'm also taking under 5 runs for the American League. Obviously taking this because I do believe the NL will win outright, and I think they're going to stay way under 5. I see this game ending a little bit like 4-3, 5-2, somewhere in that ballpark, National League victory, but I'll get into that here in just a minute. However, the American League has gone under 5, 7-3-2. They are 7-3-2 to the under 5 in the last 12 years in the All-Star games. And, you know, I think this is really going to be a much lower scoring game than everybody thinks. I've been beating that drum all episode long so far, and I think that looms heavy here today for both lineups. And in the last 21 years, the American League is 10-8-3 to the under 5 overall. I love them to stay under 5 here today. I really think that this is going to be, like I said, right at a 5-2, 4-3 type of game here today, which also leads me into a, actually, I'll save that for just a little bit later. Okay. So there you go. My 5th best bet of the day, American League team total under 5. Moving right along, it's time for the opposing picks. It's time to get nitty and gritty just real quick, okay? I am taking the National League first 5 money line and the National League full game money line. Why? Because Mad Max has consistently dealt in the All-Star game. He has consistently dealt all season long, and I am all over backing him here once again. He actually has pitched in the last 10 years, over the course of the last 10 years. He's pitched once for the NL and once for the AL and twice for the NL. Lost both for the NL, and it's Mad Max. He wants to get that win so bad and get that rebound. If nothing else, it's going to happen in the first 5 innings. Already talked about it. He tried to take the bullets out of my chamber, but Ohtani's going to be a little tired here today. My man was swinging that bat yesterday. There were multiple times during his at-bat that he had to set the bat down and take a break and relax. He was a beaten puppy. Now, I think he's going to come out and have a good first inning, but I think eventually we're going to be able to tag him here, that being the NL, for 2-3 runs, and I think it's going to be a nice little first 5 victory. However, for the full game, yeah, the AL has been solid as hell in the All-Star game over the course of history. Everybody knows that. But for some reason, the NL comes in 10-year spurts. And they win for 3 years back-to-back in 10-year spurts for some odd reason. The last time they did this, for the last 2 decades, they was in 2010, 2011, and 2012, where they got the victories outright. And hey, 2020 was last year. We all know what happened. Rona came through and ransacked the possibility of an All-Star weekend. So the National League never had their opportunity. Boy, oh boy, is it the 10-year mark here again. Yes, it is. I do believe. And I think the National League is going to go on a bit of a streak here today and break some of those trends. And everybody and their dogs are going to be back in the American League just because of the fact that they always win this doggone game. And we saw what happened to favorites yesterday in the Home Run Derby. Even though the American League are not the favorites, I do believe that they will be the public backing favorite, with them being the underdog and them consistently winning these games. Last but not least, I think to kick things off here, Ohtani, Vlad, Bogarts, and Judge are going to absolutely be trying to rip the cover off the baseball, and it's going to be to no avail whatsoever. That wind is playing a huge factor for me, and I watched a lot of the guys in the Home Run Derby last night try to rip the cover off the ball, and it wasn't working out so well. I already talked about it earlier on in the show. So either way you want to lean there, I do believe that the National League is just a bit more valuable. But wherever you want to side, whoever you're feeling, the TTL showdown today. If you are a White Sox homer and love the American League till death do you part, side with RMACS. If you are a Cubby homer and are all over the sticks of the National League, side with Colt 45. But wherever you do, choose your side wisely, because if you choose the wrong side, only you can complain to you about you losing your bet. So, moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There you have it. What am I at here now? I am just rocking along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 best bets of the day. Number 7, we are taking the under 11 runs in the game total. So you already got everything from us there. Loads of smart money coming in on this early. I absolutely love this play. Probably one of my favorite plays on the board. I think it's the most valuable play, and I think everybody is going to be running to the over here today, and I think that is the incorrect play. So there you go. There you have it. Nothing more to really say there.
Yeah, to tack on one quick point, I mean, I kind of mentioned that there's too many damn good pitchers in this matchup, but that also means, kind of furthering that point, even if one of them gets into trouble, there's another badass dude in the bullpen that can come right out and close things down.
Yeah, and you mentioned some of the NL pitching being a little bit banged up, some of the guys sitting out.
They still got
for any of the guys that are. I just think that pitching rotation is so doggone.
They replaced
dominant.
the good guy, DeGrom, Darvish. They replaced him with guys that are.
And you know what I would just hate to see for you is maybe you're down by a run and you really need to keep this tight, and they bring old Raldy in and it's a 2-1 game, and then end up Raldy gives up 4 runs, and that would kill my bet. So he gives up 3 runs, and 5-2 somehow they come back in. That would really hurt if old Aroldis Chapman came in and blew it for you. But we'll see either way. Who knows? This is a show of subtle jabs, of showdown thoughts, of who knows what might happen. But let's wrap things up here with my best bets of the day. I got 3 more coming at you. This one, also one of my favorites on the board, because I think the National League, the home team, is going to be having this lead outright nice and easy by the time we get to the late innings. So I am targeting home team to bat in the bottom of the 9th. And I am saying no. You're actually getting that at plus money right now. Home team to bat in the 9th inning is at plus 120. And that would mean that the National League has the outright lead in the top of the 9th. We bring in a big boy, whoever that might be. I'm not certain yet, but I'm sure that the manager will have quite the plan in place to seal it down when it comes to that. And then the National League doesn't have to come up in the bottom of the 9th. So extreme value I'm finding there. Obviously, partner won't find any value in that because he does believe that the American League's going to be up and winning either way. But if you're siding with me, just another little tack-on bet there that I think that's going to be very valuable in addition to the National League moneyline plays. Home team to bat in the 9th inning. No. at plus 120 odds right now. So there you go, my 8th best bet of the day.
Would hate to see your man, let's flip it right back around. Would hate to see your man Craig Kimbrell be the one that fucking busts this one for you.
Not Craigie. Maybe somebody else, but not Craigie. Moving right along, here we go into my 9th best bet of the day. I can't believe I'm saying this. 9 best bets. Goodness gracious. Much like Mr. Magnuson, who found value on his American League side of things, I also found value on my National League side of things, and this is kind of what all led me into taking the National League. A lot of these smaller side bets and the odds that were on them just were leaning me all towards the National League. So I have National League to win by 1 to 3 runs here today, and you're getting that at plus 190. The American League was at plus 250, I do believe.
230, I believe.
230.
Something like that.
So a little bit higher, and honestly, I think that's just the books kind of saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. I really think this is a valuable play, and being under plus 200, I think that is an extreme play, and I don't think that the National League is going to get it done by more than 3 runs, and if you're with me once again and back in the National League, this is once again a very, very valuable play at plus 190. So National League to win by 1 to 3 runs, plus 190 right now on FanDuel Sportsbook.
Yeah, it's kind of what I mentioned. If you're, depending on whichever side you're on, I implore you to take that action, because it's very, very atypical that one team blows out the other.
Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely 100% worth an addition with whatever side that you are taking, American League or National League. Make sure you hammer in that American League or National League to win by 1 to 3, because you're getting great odds on it, and that's probably how it's going to end either way. And then last but not least, my 10th and final best bet of the day, I am going to the total runs in the game, but I'm not going over-under. I'm taking the total runs bands. So if my partner had never played these before, so I wanted to make sure you guys know where they were. So you can go to hits and runs on FanDuel Sportsbook and more wagers, and then scroll right down. It's about the 4th one down, and it's total runs in bands in parentheses. And you'll have 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, all the way up. You know the drill. Well, I am targeting a very specific number set, and I do believe that the odds are just right for it, and I think it's exactly where you need to play. So my 10th and final best bet of the day that I am taking, that I do believe is going to be a hitter, and you're actually getting it at very, very solid plus 500 odds right now, ladies and gentlemen. I am taking the game total runs in bands. I am taking the game total to finish between 7 and 8 runs. So obviously no between, either 7 or 8 runs. It's got to finish on. Now, why did I target this out? Well, first of all, 1 through 6, all of those bands, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, they are all plus 750 or higher, and actually really higher, plus 1500, plus 2000. So there's really no value there. Then you look 9 to 10, 11 to 12, and it's at plus 480. 11 to 12 is plus 490. So I don't even see the game total coming close to 11. I don't think it's going to be a bad beat night, like, oh, missed it by 1 run, it's a 10. And I don't think it's going to be a 9. I don't think it's going to be one of those. So I came right down, right in the middle, plus 500, 7 to 8 band. I think that is spot on, but I also looked a little bit deeper into some of the previous year's trends. The All-Star game has finished on 7 or 8 total runs in 5 out of the last 12 years. Now, you don't think about that, but we're talking a little over 40%. That's pretty doggone good cover percent for plus 500. When you correlate that into probable odds, that's pretty doggone good value you're getting there. There were 3 7s and 2 8s over the course of that 12 years. There are 2 3-run totals and 2 6-run totals in between that. So another potential look, but your 5 and 6, you're not getting very good, and then 3 and 4, just way too doggone juicy to even take a look at. Back in the last 8 years, we'll knock it down a few years, there have been 2 8 total finishes and 1 7 total finishes, and then we'll knock it down even further to 6 years. There's been 1 8 total finish and 1 7 total finish. So it's been a pretty doggone popular number here for the All-Star game for some reason. And like I said, boys and girls, I think that you're just getting doggone good value on this. I think this ends 4-3, 5-2, either way, somewhere right in that ballpark, or any other way that you want to come about 7 or 8 total runs. But we also would like both of these teams to stay under 5 and 5.5, which I also think is going to happen here today. So I think the 7 or 8 is just great value, and that does it for my 10th and final best bet of the day. boys and girls, I tell you, I dove deep through this. These are not.
We got nothing going on. We got to.
These are not just little fire off. We could have easily given you home run plays or this or that that are just total shots in the dark. And I know sometimes you look at 15 freaking plays. You don't need all that. Well, okay, it is a little crazy for it being the All-Star game and a little bit fun. However, we're giving you very, very solid value with what we give you. It's not throwing darts at there. So one more time, for all of my best bets of the day, ladies and gentlemen, quick run through if you missed any of them. We are taking no runs in the first inning at plus 110. The correct inning of the first score I am taking as the second inning, odds currently at plus 250. For my third best bet, I'm taking the NL team total under 5.5 total runs. That is at minus 120. I am also taking the American League team total under 5 runs as well. That is right now at plus 100. Might have moved up a little bit now as well. I am opposing Mr. Magnuson with my 2 game picks. I am taking the National League first 5 money line and the National League full game money line. Rolling over to the total, me and Mags both taking the total for my next best bet of the day, under 11 runs in the full game. Then we are moving along to my 3 final bets of the day, the one that both me and Mags said you should add regardless if you are adding the National League to your bet slip or the American League money line to your bet slip. Make sure you also add either National League or American League to win by 1 to 3 runs. In my case, my best bet, National League to win by 1 to 3 runs at plus 190 odds. Then my final 2 best bets of the day that I absolutely love here to kind of correlate with the National League winning the game. Home team to bat in the bottom of the 9th, no, currently at plus 120 odds. And total runs in bands, you got to go to the in bands section of FanDuel Sportsbook if that's where you want to play this one. Total runs of 7 to 8, so it has to finish at 7 or 8. Current odds right now at plus 500. I think the value there is just outlandish. So lock that bad boy in. There are my 10 best bets of the day. There are RMAG's 5 best bets of the day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you have the TTL Crew's 15 best bets of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen. Holy smokes. Actually, not quite certain. I would imagine with the festivities starting at 6 o'clock yesterday and the actual action starting at 7, I would imagine that it would be right around the same point in time. However, just to double check, I'll let you guys know here so we're all on the same freaking page. How's that sound? Let's see. All-Star game starts at 6:30 p.m. So would imagine that
that's usually ceremonies though. They have longer
so
ceremonies
that'll probably be the ceremony. So yeah, first pitch will probably be at 7 o'clock. I would imagine. Then I'd imagine if you want to watch some of the fanfare, which actually yesterday was really it was really really good. They had
intros for All-Star game.
They had a tribute to Pedro Gomez, which was really, really good. I mean, if you're a fan of baseball in any capacity whatsoever, you know the name Pedro Gomez, and you know what he meant to that sport and to the home run derby, what he meant to that event in and of itself. It was a little weird not having Pedro around. It really was, and you could tell a lot of the guys were definitely feeling it, especially a lot of the older guys too. You know, like Kirkjian, you could definitely tell that it got him, but. Definitely in our hearts too. He, especially going into this profession, he is definitely someone we looked up to, especially in the world of MLB. So there you go. There you have it. We got the All-Star game coming in live, coming in hot to you today, and you got all of our best bets. Partner, should we allow our ever popular friends to make a selection to say who they're going to be choosing?
You know, I'm curious as to if they could break the tie between us here.
Okay, I'm not going to pull everything up here. Why the hell not? Get everything rocking and rolling for us, and just because, you know, why the hell not? Let's do a quick money line dice roll here today. Out of nowhere, complete surprise, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get everything pulled up so I can get them live on the screen here for y'all real quick. Give me just one brief moment, and we are going to see who the money line dice are siding with tonight. Are they going to side with the National League and me, or are they going to side with the American League and Mr. Magnuson?
Should we just stick with those two?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We honestly don't even have to do the money line or ATS.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, we can just do.
Just home or away.
Yeah.
All right.
Honestly, we can just do. We can do a best out of 3 roll too. See what the dice like. Best out of 3.
I like that.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the rules have been set. The tables have been not turned, but delivered, I guess. Or
Tables have been delivered. Yep.
tables have been delivered. Yep, that's what we were looking for. That's the word. You know, you ever just get into a sentence and you're just like, "Get me the fuck out of here! I didn't mean to say that."
Gotta get yourself out, man.
You just ever get
Deliver
into
them damn tables.
You ever get into one of those sentences? You know, you just know what the hell's going on out here. All right, let me get these bad boys up live on the screen for you, you wonderful people. Real quick, hold on one moment. All right, you saw them briefly, but that's okay. No problem at all. Want to make sure it is for the pristine viewing pleasure of each and every one of you. Now live on your screen. You son of a bitch. The money line dice, not the Green Bay Fudge Packers. Let's move right along. You son of a gun. I
can't believe you didn't see it.
I should have known. I just thought you were moving the camera across it. I saw
you also said
it.
you saw him for a brief second, and it was definitely also just that.
Yeah, either way, ladies and gentlemen, the money line dice now live on your screen. It always bears mentioning when we do come to this point in the show, my goodness gracious, if y'all want your own set of money line dice, you want to roll right alongside the crew, or you don't believe any of our analysis and you just want to depend on these fine looking cubicle objects to make some selections for you, well, we got a way you can get them. Go to this episode's description if you haven't already to check out the TTL Crew's link tree, because we drop another link in there, moneylinedice.com. And oh, hey, your friends at Talking the Line Sports Media got a little discount for you. Nothing off limits. Get whatever you want out of their merchandise selection. Add it to your cart. When you get to checkout, enter code TTL10. TTL10. We also put the code down there in the description, but enter it in there. You're going to get 10% off your first order on moneylinedice.com. So without further ado, let's get into the quick, a la carte, if you will, moneyline dice roll, the unexpected appearance of our honorable, all-knowing, ever-present guests. So,
2 out of 3, huh?
2 out of 3 roll. The dice will tell us, we'll break it. 2 out of 3. Are they siding with RMags or are they rolling with Colt? Let's see, baby, in 3, in 2, in 1.
American League for the first roll. Let's go dice. Let's go dice.
Moneyline dice.
Let's fucking go dice. Let's go dice.
All right.
As mentioned, the all-knowing Moneyline dice. The all-knowing. I'll say it again.
The dice have spoken. As much as I hate to say it, if you want a guaranteed cash a ticket tonight per the money line dice, side with the American League money line. But if you're smart and savvy into the TTL showdowns, shit, that's also not a good backup at all.
Yeah, keep going. Finish that thought.
No thoughts to finish. I'm still hammering in the National League. We'll see who's eating their tears on tomorrow's show, but the Moneyline Dice have selected American League money line.
Let's go dice.
No thank you, dice. No thank you, dice. No thank you, dice. What?
Dice.
I talk you up all the time. I literally give you extra screen time. I let these people know about you and how they can acquire you, and then you're going to do me like this.
To finish my partner's thought,
that's cool.
If you're tuned into these showdowns
hey,
and
pound
follow
stand
along
over
with
there.
those
Pound stand
records,
over there, would you?
14-5.
Hey.
14-5.
Been a long time since we brought one of those back. Settle yourself down. And there were some very, very questionable calls within the course of that. No, not whatsoever. Not whatsoever. All right, let me get rid of this.
College basketball, that's about 3/4 of college basketball right there.
No, it's not college basketball.
Little NBA.
It's NBA is what really
It's about
destroyed
half
me.
and
The
half.
beginning of the NBA is what destroyed me. Whatever, either way. All right, we're looking good here now, ladies and gentlemen.
Great now.
There you go. The not faux. What's the word I'm looking for? The impromptu money line dice roll of the day. There you go. There you have it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving right along on today's show, we got plenty of extra nonsense to get into in addition to today's MLB All-Star game. Now, if you are one of the kind gambling folks that just stops by the TTL Pod for our best bets, our analysis, trends, everything in between, the TTL Showdown when we decide to bring it back. And you're just popping in for those today for today's All-Star game. You're about to head out of here. First things first, thank you so much for stopping by, hammering in some plays with the TTL crew, and supporting us every single day. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. If you really are headed out of here, hope you have a spectacular rest of your Tuesday unless you have other plans. We'll see you at the All-Star game tonight and back on tomorrow's show. Because, as a quick reminder, we got plenty of other stuff to get into. We got Game 4 of the NBA Finals happening tomorrow in Milwaukee. We will be bringing you best bets, props, everything out of that game. Then we also have the British Open to dive into tomorrow as well. So if you're looking for plays, picks coming from the NBA and the British Open, you best believe you're going to find them right here on episode number 80 of the Talking the Line podcast. So make sure you mosey on around the corner, firmly planted in your favorite viewing chair for however you consume the TTL pod. And let's catch some doggone tickets tomorrow because we need your help bankrupting these sportsbooks one play at a time. So have a great day, but it's time to keep this show moving on down the tracks, ladies and gentlemen. We got a little bit of nonsense to get into, some hot takes to deliver, and some ranting and reacting to complete. So without further ado, let's move into the second half of today's show. Today's Rants and Reactions.
Let's get into it.
Partner, how you doing over there, my friend? You looking good? You feeling good? You ready to have a day here for the All-Star game?
Yeah, my man. I was already feeling good, and now the all-knowing moneyline dice took my side. So I'm feeling on top of the world, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, well, oh, excuse me. I am sorry.
Yeah, if you want to put your money down on somebody, don't do it on the person who just did that.
I do apologize. Either way, I can't hate on him. But I was going to say, you're putting your faith in a cubicle object. Who the hell are you?
All of a sudden, we'll see how this goes.
We'll see how this goes here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Either way, you know where we both are lying or standing, rather, for the MLB All-Star Game 2021 in Coors Field. Let's keep it moving. All right, today's Rants and Reactions, we're kicking it off with some latest and greatest news coming out of the Olympics, the Summer Games set to take place here right at the end of the month. We got a little bit of action going on, a little bit of nonsense happening.
Nonsense.
Yeah, it's nonsense and a half. USA men's basketball playing some exhibition games, getting the old engines revved up, greasing the gears, if you will, getting ready for competition at the big league level here. And, oh boy, they lost to Australia last night, partner.
They did.
In dominant fashion, 91-83. Team USA is not even scoring 100 points in a basketball game.
Yeah.
We're taking note of it. The media's taking note of it. And they went right for the throat of Greg Popovich last night. And Pop ain't having it, pal.
Yeah, no.
Pop ain't hearing it. He ain't want to have a second of it. Cause for concern? Are we in for a long Olympic summer as USA men's basketball fans? What is on the horizon here for Team USA?
You know, I don't know. I can't. We obviously have. There's been other stuff going on, and I haven't been watching these games. But I have to feel still solid about their very solid about their chances. I'm going to say that they're still going to figure this thing out. Slightly concerning. It's not good. Not what you want to see. I mean, Australia is no scrubs. They've got some. They've got a couple NBA players, a few NBA players. I know they got Patty Mills. But it's not a good look. It's not a good look. I do think they'll figure things out. I have to imagine that they are just, just dipping their toes in the water, playing around with different lineups. But
I hope so.
I don't know what's going on, man. From what I saw some reaction, and it sounded like they were relying on Damian Lillard to bail them out, which he is used to that. But we don't want to do the same thing to him. We want to actually, spread it around a little bit, spread the love around. So I don't know, man. I'll still be rooting and thinking that they're going to be taking the gold. Hopefully this sweetens their odds a little bit for some gold, because I would love to back them.
Yeah, I would love to back them as well.
But not at
that would be
minus
pretty
750.
tight if it did.
Yeah.
Maybe bring it down to in the minus 200s range,
don't
minus
think so.
150. But I highly doubt that that's going to happen.
They'll figure it out, I think.
Yeah, but overall, Greg Popovich is not trying to hear none of the bullshit. So suggest you leave him alone about it if you're a member of the media.
Right.
He is not on it.
Someone was asking Dame Lillard, like, oh, you've seen USA steamroll these teams in the past, and now you're coming in and it's a struggle. And then Greg Popovich was like, okay, well, you're just assuming that every single game has been a steamroll. Like, we've had good games in the past, this and that. So
Right. We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see what happens
I don't know.
here with USA men's basketball, but the jury is still out. Let us know in the comments. Are they dead, or are they just greasing the gears, checking some lines out, seeing what they're going to potentially do for the real deal Holyfield coming in a few short weeks? Outside of that, a little other news coming out of the Olympics. Got to set up some fanfare. Got to make sure all the
bells and whistles
are working, if you will. One of the main things here, very, very important, is the electrical work. Well, particular group of U.S. and U.K. nationals were part of this electrical contractor group, and people were noticing that they were getting their jobs done awfully doggone fast. They were putting up light posts faster than a son of a bitch. They had a whole stadium done completed in about a half a day. I said, what are these boys doing? How is these things happening? What is going on? So some of the managers got together, say, hey, we got to go have some ice cream on these boys. Well, for those of you not familiar with the trades, in the trades, when somebody says, hey, we got to go get ice cream, that means you're about to get piss tested, my friends. And well, you're not in the trades, my friend. You're not a welder, a millwright, or a pipe fitter, or anything in between.
That's fair.
So, that being said, and I was in some point of my life, that being said, well, they took them to go get ice cream, and it says there was a reason that they were getting so much work done so fast. This group of gentlemen had been found to be using the cocaine on the job site and absolutely destroying their jobs, but because cocaine is very illegal across the world, and not to mention also in Tokyo, Japan, their drug laws are bad. These electrical contractors find themselves in some sticky issue here, just for having a little bit of fun with a little bit of snowing, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Is that actually true that they were like getting their job done faster?
I just fudged that in there. No,
Okay,
I have no idea. Hey,
we'll say that.
Got to make the clicks.
Yeah, we'll say it.
Who knows? I don't know, but I just saw that story come out
wild.
out of nowhere, and then these guys. But yeah, that's the craziest part. Is like some of these. I'll say foreign countries. Obviously, it's not the U.S. So, like, I know, especially a lot of the southern hemisphere countries, but then also over in that area, a lot of the Asian countries, their drug laws are insane.
Stiff.
Like a gram of pot will catch you like a solid 20 years. It's no joke over there. So we could have some contractors in some serious shit over there. In other news, coming out of the Olympics, one final piece of news here, very shocking news. President of the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, was thanking his host nation and forgot who his host nation was. He, in the capital of Japan, I do believe, capital of Japan, Tokyo, he was thanking them up and down so kindly and thanked the Chinese people for their hospitality. Yikes, Tom Bach. What are we doing, Bob?
Tommy.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that stinks.
Not a good
stinks.
look.
Not a good look
for the IOC.
Not a good look for
Yikes.
a very major international, international body that is the IOC. You would
think they'd be up to times and terms with what's kind of going on and where
Tokyo's
they're.
in Japan.
No, not Tokyo, China. The last time I checked, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a mapologist. So
I know.
What
It's
the hell
not
do I know?
it's not in China.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I know that to be a fact, Jack. So Tom Bach is going to have to quickly row himself out of this hot water before we have potentially loads of Japanese and Chinese people in one area and could turn into a whole fucking facade.
I'm sure that's
shit.
The offensiveness of that alone has probably got him in hot water. But just being the president of an international committee, that alone, you would have to think that might get him a seat off of his own seat as the president.
He might be saying bye-bye, and we're not going to get into it at all because we do not get into politics here at the TTL Pod, but especially with the climate of everything here lately, not the greatest move there, Mr. Bach.
No.
Moving along into the 8-sided circle. That does it for the Olympics. A perfect circle, now into the 8-sided circle. The UFC in the world of MMA. As a reminder, we will be live from the TTL production studios for UFC Fight Night 27, I do believe it is, from the UFC Apex. Islam Makhachev versus Thiago Moises. This Saturday, going to be an electric fight card, and we will be breaking it all down, giving you our best bets, props, and the main card parlay from ya boy on Friday's episode. I'm going to kick off the rants and reactions with all of that, so make sure you stick around for that, or come back for that, or buy for that, or whatever you want to say. However, there was some news I needed to get into here.
Yes, sir.
Khabib Nurmagomedov, the Eagle, the once champion of the 155-pound weight division in UFC and still contending as one of the baddest men on the planet, has made an official statement about one of his arch rivals, Conor McGregor, and has said if the UFC continues to back McGregor in the way that they do, quote unquote, the sport is going to go in a bad way. Partner, thoughts on the Eagles' comments? Is this all an act, a facade by Conor McGregor to generate the clicks, to generate the bait, as we always like to talk about? Or has McGregor, the notorious, really fallen off the deep end with this one?
So I'll bring it back to you with the question. Is Khabib's saying this in the sense of the fanfare of McGregor, like the shit, like your wife send me DMs, like is he talking about that stuff, like the negativity around that stuff, or is he actually talking about giving him these massive fights when he obviously Khabib might not think he deserves it? Is it that aspect of it, the fanfare type stuff, or is it more so just giving him the biggest fights in the world every single year?
From what I understood it's the fanfare aspect of it.
Okay.
Now, obviously, you can go either way on that.
Maybe a little bit of both.
But either way, if he loses the next 5 fights, he's still going to be one of the most prolific fighters in the UFC, and he's still going to draw the most pay-per-view buys regardless.
Right. And that's dictated by the public, not necessarily. Obviously, the UFC allows that, but the public dictates that they want to see that. So
exactly.
Yeah, I do think it is probably the what I was saying first as far as the fanfare type stuff, because in the first couple of cases, and in a lot of cases you see him afterwards kind of hugging each other. Not necessarily McGregor, but other fights where they're kind of stirring things up beforehand, but then afterwards it's all respect.
Right.
And obviously in this last one, it didn't appear to be the case. Dustin, said he like fuck this guy, and Conor was basically from the ground saying the same shit. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're
watch
the
your
UFC
words,
guys.
mate.
Yeah,
we'll see. I don't know. I don't think McGregor's bad for the sport. I know that is just a facade, that is just a fake, that he fully intended to plan on do all of that. That is why his wife was not there. That's why his kids were not there. That was full planned on what he's doing. Surprisingly, though, he did put out a second video from the hospital, and this time it was bashing Dustin. Instead of saying, oh, we're on the back, we're going, it was just him looking around his face, and he was dabbing his ear. You could see his ear bleeding in the fight, and he was dabbing his ear. There was a little cut there, and he fucking ground and pound right, and then just cut the video. So It's like, oh, all right. So he is still throwing jabs. He does not give a damn, regardless of if his leg is in a cast or not, and he's on crutches for the next 6 weeks. So
well, I have to imagine if there's going to be a fourth fight, the fanfare around that is going to be even bigger than anything we've seen in this rivalry so far. So, I mean,
wild.
And obviously Khabib's a quieter guy in general. So,
Yeah.
you know, and he's you just go in and do your business and get the fuck out. Aside from the one fight with McGregor, obviously.
Yep, aside from the one.
I don't know.
But we'll see. I don't know. I don't think McGregor's bad for the sport, but definitely of popular opinion amongst some of the Khabib fans and a lot of fans that saw what McGregor did. But a lot of guys that are still behind him, still backing him. So we'll see where all of this saga goes, because I think it is far from over, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Suggest you tune in to all of the UFC nonsense, everything we got coming. Quick couple reminders here. The NFL regular season starts in 58 days. Did you update that as well? So it is 58 days. I had already updated it. I appreciate you being on top of the game. We do have an official countdown clock that may or may not be on the Talking the Line website.
Is it on there?
May or may not be.
Okay, may or may not be.
But it also may or may not be an additional countdown clock for the second best time of the year.
Oh.
The college basketball season starting in 119 days. Cannot wait more than juiced for that bad boy to come right around the corner. So yeah, we'll be keeping you up to date. Little teasers, some things you might be seeing or might not be seeing on the Talking the Line website.
Enough time to get tuned up on both of them bad boys.
Absolutely, we are more than ecstatic, and once we definitely get into the 40 day mark here for the NFL, it is on, and we definitely will have the website up way before then. So we're gonna have a lot of blogs, a lot of additional stuff coming out for you guys that you'll be able to consume. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Already talked about most of the MLB. Everything happened in the Home Run Derby yesterday to kick off the show. If you want to hear anything of that in your Rant Reactions there, head on back to the beginning of the show. You can hear everything we talked about, but nothing really else additional. We talked about all the winners, all of our bets. Mancini almost getting the job done. Absolutely electric story, but Pete Alonso just proven to be too much for the entire field. Outside of that, we got a few other quick little pit stops. The NHL ice.
Yes, sir.
We haven't been able to go there for a little while because it's been pretty quiet. Not a whole lot going on. The season's over. Well, a little something happened there down in Tampa Bay while we were celebrating the victory for the Bolts.
Yeah. Lord
Stanley has been dented.
Badly dented.
Badly dented. The whole top of him is completely folded in two. He is making a return back to Montreal, Quebec. Will be getting some repairs over the course of the next week or so, and then headed back down to Tampa Bay. Well, now Champa Bay, to resume festivities, if you will. So
I mean, that's the type of shit that curses are made of, my friend.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. You know, back-to-back years, and maybe they don't get it
Especially
for
with
the
that
next
trophy.
120 years. Who knows? But yes, the Tampa Bay Bolts dented the Stanley Cup trophy
Badly. And
very badly.
This morning, I didn't see it yet, and I was expecting it to be just like a little dimple or something like that. I found it, and I said,
It was a taco shell.
Yeah.
That whole top of the doggone thing was done.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. A little bit of a repair, a lot of bit of repair, new top of it. Who knows?
Who knows? Either way, it's going to have to get some repairs, and then it'll be back in Tampa Bay to hang out for the next year
Maybe
or
take it easy.
so.
Maybe
Probably
take it a
should
little
take it easy and not venture out onto the Tampa Bay River anytime soon. Outside of that, in the NHL, we had a bit of a gut punch come out of our organization, the Chicago Blackhawks. Partner, my friend, it looks like we are day by day busting up the dynasty team. All we have left now is Taser and Kaner. If you didn't know, hate to be the bearer of bad news, the Chicago Blackhawks have traded away Duncan Keith to the Edmonton Oilers. Yikes.
Yeah, so I
Yikes.
mean, I can't really analyze it because I don't know the ins and outs of the NHL the way I do with other sports. It was mixed reaction from the people that I follow who follow the Hawks very closely and know their stuff of, obviously being gut punched to see Duncan Keith go, one of the guys who was, probably the number 3 guy as far as bringing the cups, 3 cups home at the beginning of this decade.
Big time.
But then also mixed
Big
reaction
time.
because they did really like the return that they got for him. So I'm hoping it spells some optimism in the future because, as you mentioned, we still got Kane and Taze. It doesn't sound like those 2 guys are going anywhere, at least this offseason. Get another run with Taze coming up I'm excited for.
Sure.
And Patty Kane, still the man. He actually won the ESPY for Best NHL Player this year. And I saw
Really?
Yeah, you didn't see that.
No kidding. I had no idea.
And a lot of people who, are close to the NHL were upset about it. And it's like, all right, well, it's an ESPY. It's not the... it's not like it's the actual MVP trophy. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Exactly. So, I didn't know that, though. But that's pretty cool. Kaner getting the ESPY for Best NHL Player.
Pretty sure it's fan voted anyway, so it's like...
Either way, who cares? Hopefully we have a season upcoming here. We got Taze coming back. We got a lot of new faces, a lot of young guys who should be able to start finding their role within that team because... last season was hard to watch, my friends. Very hard to watch. The last few seasons have been a little bit hard to watch. Right. So hopefully we get back on the winning side of things here in Chicago. But that about does it. Wanted to make sure we touched on those few little bits of information there for the NHL. But wrapping things up here for today's rants and reactions. Going to the hardwood, the NBA Finals, Game 4, coming up tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I do believe. Any early predictions, early thoughts, early trends? We know that the line opened up at right the same, -4. Do we think that the Bucks are going to take care of business in the same fashion, or is this a foregone conclusion that the Suns lose one game and then it's all but a wrap for their opponent after that?
I mean, I feel like maybe I've been a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for, repeating jukebox or...
resounding gong.
No, maybe that. I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? Shit. Anyways, I'm taking the Bucks.
Broken record.
Broken record, yes.
Repeating jukebox. You were close.
Broken record. Oh, no. You couldn't think of it at first. You said resounding gong.
Well, hey, man.
That's a better one than I said.
I didn't know where you... repeating
broken record. I feel like I sound like a broken record. I'm taking the Bucks.
Wait.
Going 2-2.
We're using that now.
2-2
we are a repeating jukebox. I am no longer using broken record. We are a repeating jukebox. Oh yeah, baby. Please continue with your Game 4 analysis, sir.
Broken record. I don't want to get too much because we'll dive into a lot more tomorrow. But I'm taking the Bucks. Chris Middleton with a bounce back game tomorrow. That's what I'm going with. And Giannis to stay hot.
Yeah, I know we talked about it a little bit for sure to keep it together. We talked about it for sure, but we will definitely dive into it on tomorrow's show. That'll be pretty much the majority of the first half of tomorrow's show, all of Game 4, all of our best bets. I do believe I'm leaning a little bit Bucks here early, especially with the same line, and that -4 has been a key number for favorites to cover here so far in the NBA playoffs. It gets any bit more than that, it's tend to be an underdog cover, but that -4 has been real key. So we'll be sure to bring you everything there tomorrow. Make sure you tune into the first half of tomorrow's show if you want all of our best bets, analysis, trends, everything in between for Game 4 of the NBA Finals. A little bit of additional information news coming out of the NBA outside of the finals. The man, the myth, the legend, Willie Green, Suns assistant coach, if you don't know, now looks to be in line next up, first in line, ready to assume position, sir, of the New York Pelicans. He might be the next head coach.
Should be a decent move. Seems like they're trying to get away from just trying to bring in some name that everybody knows. So,
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a talented roster, man. Obviously, Zion and Brandon Ingram. I'm a big fan of both of those guys. So, I think it should be a good move. Hopefully they can get it done because I would love to see them, maybe not finals necessarily, but I'd love to see them come May, June next year.
Yeah, I was definitely going to say that as well. If you didn't, it would be great to see them in the NBA playoffs. They're a fun team to watch during the year, and they just haven't had that postseason success so far yet. But hopefully in the coming years they will, because they got a stacked lineup. But that's all for the news, noteworthy information coming out of the NBA. And that does it, ladies and gentlemen, for today's Rants and Reactions. Didn't ask you this yesterday, partner, but might as well just see. Anything burning on the brain, on the heart, festering on the soul that you've been dying to get out since we started here, episode number 79 of the TTL Pod?
I guess I'll do my home run derby trivia. We were running long yesterday, so I don't blame you. But
Okay.
Who's got the most derby wins of all time?
Ken Griffey Jr.?
He does.
All right.
With 3. How many appearances has he made?
Ooh.
He has the
7.
most. It was 8, actually.
Okay.
Seems pretty. That seems wild.
I don't know. They didn't mention it, but I don't know. I think they did at some point. Subconsciously, I probably heard it, but I don't know if I would have gotten all that had I not watched the telecast last night.
Last night, yeah.
I mean, I knew
he was all
I
over
knew
it.
Griffey, like I
was
knew
all over
Griffey
it.
would be, and like they just kept saying, "Oh, back to back to back," and "Oh, Alonso, you got a shot," and like that was the whole freaking storyline during the thing. But speaking of which, does the old dog start to look a little bit old? He's getting a little gray now, man. Like the young kid that was our idol, man. It's just weird. Like we're getting older, they're getting older. Our superstar idols. Is this what it feels like, dude? Holy shit.
We got some time.
We got some time, but my clock ain't running that way. It's going this away.
Yeah. Fan favorite. Everybody loves Griffey.
Yeah,
one of the
absolutely.
highest approval ratings in baseball history. I'd say, at least from a fan perspective.
And he almost didn't participate in the first home run derby that he ever won.
Really?
Yeah. He elected not to. Showed up for BP. Got booed out of the damn stadium. And then turned around and won the damn thing.
Oh, okay.
And he started off with like 6 outs in his first 6 swings. It was just 6 outs. And then absolutely sent lasers all over the ballpark. Absolutely crazy.
Okay, so last bit of trivia. This one will be a little tougher if you didn't look at past winners.
All right.
Him and Alonso, there's 3 people who have won back-to-back. Griffey and Alonso. Who's the third? This decade. 2030.
Oh, it is this decade.
I believe it's...
Shit, because I was going to say the Cobra.
Nope.
Dave Parker.
This decade.
This decade. So Aaron Judge?
Nope.
Giancarlo?
Nope.
This decade.
If you can't take it. Nope. Yoenis Cespedes.
Yoenis Cespedes?
Yep.
That would have been the last name that I would have come up with. No kidding.
It was 13-14, I believe.
No kidding. Well, the more you know. You'll never know what you'll find here on the TTL Pod or RMACS sidebar to close everything out. Appreciate it, my man.
Of course.
Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show, episode number 79, really wrapped up here. We got through the first segment, everything MLB All-Star game, second segment, whatever you want to say, today's Rants and Reactions. Now, third and final segment, the closing segment, everything that I like to do, pay it forward to you guys for stopping by and giving us your time and your support. I like to give you a little inspiration, motivation to, once you leave today's show, you get right on about your day and maybe think of us every once in a while and it gets you going, get you that extra kick you need to power through this Tuesday. So without further ado, it's time for my Motivation Minutes. And just had a quick one today, and something I've spoke a lot about on the past in one way or another. But man, oh man, just the climate that we're all living in, and without getting too deep into that, you know what I'm talking about. If you're on social media in any capacity, you see everything that's out there. I mean, if you watch any half a second of TV anymore, I mean, you know what's going on, and it's so easy to feed into that hate and that negativity and talk about this or that. And one thing that me and Mags really pride ourselves on is just staying out of that stuff and bringing the good energy, the good positivity everywhere we go. And we had a little bit of a conversation the other day. I said, well, what if you just are the change? He said, well, it's hard to be the change. It's hard to be that person, and you're a drop of water in the ocean. And I said, yeah, man, I know. I totally understand that. But what if we could change that mindset? What if we could change that narrative? What if every single person just started trying a little bit more to be that light, to be that voice, to my quote of the day for you: be the calm in the storm. That's my challenge for you guys here today. This raging storm that we find ourselves in, the day-to-day chaos and the toxicity and struggle, whatever corner of this life you find yourself in, there you will find some type of negativity or toxicity there. It will find you. It is how life works, but how life also works is how you choose to deal with it. You can feed into that storm. You can add to the rain and to the thunder and the lightning and continue to enhance the negative aspects of whatever specific situation you find yourself in, or just day-to-day life in general. Or you can choose to be the calm. You can be the rain of sunshine in the darkness of clouds. Even when it's pouring rain in every single situation, you can choose to make your own sunshine. One thing that I always say and that I love, it's a dark, gloomy, cloudy day today in the Windy City, and everybody's, like rainy day, rainy. I'm making my own sunshine. It's what I want you guys to do today. I'm challenging you today, and not just today, every single day, going through this week, into next week, next month, next year, for the rest of your life. Choose to be the calm in the storm. Choose to be that ray of sunshine in the darkness and the thick clouds that we all find ourselves in. Because that's the key. We all find ourselves in it. We are all human beings. We all have a heartbeat. We all put our legs in our pants the same way in the morning. You might do your right leg first and I do my left, but it still comes out the same way. So at the end of the day, if we all just chose to be a little bit more calm and shine a little bit more light in every situation we find ourselves in, we might find ourselves in a better society altogether. Now, I choose to do that today, and I choose to do that every single day in my life. You can ask my partner. We go in to get lunch somewhere, and I knock them dead with kindness. I love to make those people's day because they're there to serve me, and I'm there to give back to them what they're giving to me and show them a little bit of respect and maybe brighten up their day. Maybe they've been getting beat over the head with orders all day at whatever restaurant you find you're at. And because you decided to be a little bit of a light to them, it turns everything around for their entire day. So one more time, my friends, that's my challenge to you. I dedicate myself to that. I promise you that I will, and I hope you do as well. Be the calm in the storm today, my friends, and let's start making this life a little bit better place for everybody. That does it for my Motivation Minutes today.
Good stuff, my man. Excuse me. Good stuff as always. Can't add too much to it.
Well, I appreciate it, my friend. Hope you guys got some good knowledge, good value there. I hope you carry that on with you throughout the entire day today and bring the sunshine into whatever stormy situation you find yourself in. So there you go. There you have it. My Motivation Minutes of the day. Be the calm in the storm. Well, that does it. Episode number 79 of the Talking the Line podcast, ladies and gentlemen. As always, thank you so much for choosing to stop by, listen to the TTL crew drop down some cold, hard facts, knowledge, and analysis, everything in between, and hammer in some picks with us so we can run to the pay window this evening right around 10 o'clock or so once the All-Star game wraps up. Outside of that, nothing too major on the docket. Remember the link tree. Remember to hit that bad boy. You can find all of our stuff. Talking the Line website coming very soon. I promise you guys it will be out by the end of the month, if not sooner. I said that on the pod. You guys hold me to it. Promise you. I'm grinding. I'm busting it out. We're going to get this thing rolled out before the end of the month so we can keep bringing you even bigger and better and newer and funner and faster and everything in between content. All of that being said, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates, gamblers, far and wide. From myself and Mags, once again, thank you so much for stopping by episode number 79. Thank you for all your support and following us along on this journey that has become Talking the Line Sports Media. We hope you have a spectacular rest of your Tuesday, unless you have other plans. Let's cash some tickets.